You probably already have a nice warm hat and a scarf and a nice heavy pair of gloves. But something you might be forgetting is a bottle of water.
It's always important to stay hydrated no matter what weather it's in.
I think people just forget.
When I go home, I feel like I need to drink a bunch of water.
The men and women walking the streets of Kansas City try to bundle up and stay warm, but some do a better job of staying hydrated than others.
Just sparkling water. Just I happen to like it. That's about it. Diet soda.
Big glass of iced tea already.
I've had water and coffee.
Dr. Bill Barkman is the medical director of occupational health at the University of Kansas Hospital. He says in the winter, people often change up their routine.
We change our normal pattern. For instance, if you're a runner, you see people running all the time with water bottles and staying hydrated. Well, not so much when it gets this cold.
Dehydration can occur in cold temperatures too, and it can intensify illnesses, fatigue, and hypothermia.
If you're dehydrated, it even makes it quicker. And then if your temperature falls even further and it gets below 90 degrees, then it becomes a medical emergency.
And if a refrigerated bottle of water sounds too chilly for today, Barkman says to try something a little more comforting.
If you get chilled, warm the water you're drinking to help keep your core temperature up.
You should also avoid consuming too much salt, caffeine, or other diuretics because they can cause dehydration as well. I'm Nathan Vickers reporting for KCTV5 News Local, Kansas City. A Northwest Missouri man keeps more than 140 sleighs in an old furniture warehouse as a way of preserving a different time in America's past.
It's a way of life, and what the sleigh was really family time. It was not only a chore, but it was enjoyment.
Bill Engel believes his collection of sleighs is the largest in the United States and possibly the world.
This is the drawbar where you hook the shafts on.
Some are more than 2 centuries old, built by hand around the world.
I just feel that if nothing else, somebody else is going to enjoy them because I did keep them.
Some have decayed in barns or sitting unused outdoors. He buys them and preserves them as best he can.
I would use the word stabilize them.
Engel can tell a story about his sleighs to just about anyone, including my Uncle Joe and his family, who came along for the trip.
History here is fun. Just the stories that I heard, the different types of sleighs. This was more of an outing than I expected.
It's an unusual hobby for the farmer and retired professor, but he does it to teach people about a time before cars and paved roads.
And it gives some insight at how hard people did work so that we might have the life and the way of life that we have today.
Engel began collecting sleighs 15 years ago. You can see more of them at kctv5.com. I'm Nathan Vickers reporting for KCTV5 News Local, Kansas City. Well, if you look at today's date, December 13th, 2014, you get 12, 13, 14. It's a sequential number, and it's the last time that'll happen in our lifetimes. Now, that makes it an extra special day for couples who are getting married today. Union Station, a popular destination for couples who want a grand wedding beneath stunning Christmas trees and glowing lights.
I'm just really excited for it to finally be here. We've put a lot of planning into it.
Newlyweds Mary and Ryan Spencer wanted a holiday ceremony, and when they were choosing a date, today's sequential numbers caught their eyes.
You can't forget the anniversary.
Can't forget the anniversary, and Christmas time is both of our favorite season of the year.
Gina and Sean Scheffler even decided to take it a step further. They realized if they got hitched around 3:15 in military time, their date would be 12, 13, 14 at 15, 16.
It's about time. I'm glad we're here. I've wanted to marry her for a long time.
But that didn't quite go to plan.
I had forgotten how far it is from the hotel to Union Station, and my little feet would only go so fast.
The wedding went on 15 minutes late. A little erroneous, but still chronologically harmonious. And most importantly, matrimonious.
It's a fabulous day.
Love you.
Love you.
According to David's Bridal, more than 13,000 couples registered their wedding for this day. That's more than twice as many as the same date last year. I'm Nathan Vickers reporting for KCTV5 News Local, Kansas City. Sergeant Trevor Ballard calls it a crime of opportunity. shoppers with too much on their minds leaving their cars open to thefts.
In a year, people are out shopping and eating and going places and visiting people, and they a lot of times will get out of their vehicles and they'll forget to lock the doors.
In the small Riverside suburb, there have been more than 80 break-ins this year. And Ballard says it's worse during the holiday shopping season.
This is just almost as bad as an issue of leaving your car unlocked and the windows cracked open here.
A lot of it just comes down to common sense. So remember, lock your doors, secure your valuables, and don't let them become Christmas presents for the criminals. He says thieves generally won't break a car window in a crowded lot.
Parking way out, away from the door, places that you park with less light, that makes it a little easier pickings for the bad guys.
Electronics and other expensive gifts make tempting targets for thieves. And some vehicles are more at risk than others.
Work boxes in the back of the trucks are also another target.
Ballard and other cops are watching shopping areas closely this season.
We'll look for anybody that's just gotten out of a vehicle like that. If we can see sometimes they leave it unlocked.
Many times Ballard gives shoppers a friendly reminder to lock up to help keep crime to a minimum for the holidays.
This is supposed to be a time of year for joy and happy things, and getting your car broken into and your stuff stolen certainly is not a happy thing.
It was a classic Christmas caper, but KCPD had a little extra help today. A kid whose dream it is to be a cop.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States, and the state of Missouri, so help me God.
I do.
Swearing an oath of duty fulfills a lifetime ambition for 15-year-old Tayshawn Thompson.
Like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be big and strong and be like one of the policemen. And now it's coming true.
And he's just the young man to crack the case of some stolen Christmas presents meant for kids at Children's Mercy Hospital.
If it wasn't for the hospital and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here.
Tayshawn battles sickle cell anemia every day. It gives him many complications, including strokes.
He's been in and out of the hospital basically all of his life, but the last 2 years has been very rough.
That's why his mom says being a cop is the perfect Christmas present.
Tayshawn is a child that likes to give, and now he gets a chance to give back.
KCPD gave him a badge, helped him solve a mystery, and even saluted him with a chopper flyover. They treated him like a hero.
It wasn't about being a police officer, it was just about being a person and being able to help out another individual.
At the end of the day, Tayshawn's detective work led to recovered gifts for kids at the hospital, making this Christmas one he'll always remember.
My favorite part was just riding in a police car with a police officer, with a real one, and just helping the kids.
Tayshawn says he first wanted to become a cop when he was 4 years old because he thought police officers got free donuts at Quick Trip. I'm Nathan Vickers reporting for KCTV5 News Local, Kansas City.
She tried to stop him. She tried to save his life, and she ended up losing her own.
Ashley Rodriguez remembers her sister Azanette as a beautiful person, inside and out.
She was the peacemaker. Like, if we would all be arguing, she would call us and she would be like, "You can't stay mad at me forever."
And making peace was what Azanette was trying to do the night she died. At a Royals watch party, the sisters had been drinking with some friends, including her cousin, Jamie Garcia, and Azanette's boyfriend, Raimundo Rodriguez.
She went to save his life.
An altercation with a bartender led to an argument between the couple.
I've never seen him physically, it was like mentally and physically mad.
So mad that Raimundo came to blows with Azanette's family.
When we broke it up, he had snatched the keys out of my hand and he jumped back in the car.
The couple left P&L and Rodriguez took off for the Heart of America Bridge. Police say he crossed over it in the wrong lane into oncoming traffic.
The last thing I heard from my sister was she was okay. And I knew she was, and I just knew, something just told me that she wasn't okay, because after that she never answered me again.
It's not one you're going to forget for a while.
Sergeant Deb Randall remembers investigating the head-on collision that followed. Raimundo and the other driver went to the hospital injured. Azanette wasn't wearing a seatbelt. She died on the scene.
Think about what you're going to do. If you're going to go out and drink and drive and have a good time, don't drive.
After a 2-month investigation, Raimundo Rodriguez now faces vehicular manslaughter charges.
He was to the point where he didn't care what he did, what pain he was going to cause himself or anybody else.
Now a family is grieving after what they call a selfish decision to drink and drive. Nathan Vickers, KCTV5 News Local, Kansas City.